Hello, my name is Marcela Solana. I am a Mexican designer, artist, and author. I graduated from college in my hometown of Guadalajara with a degree in design, and then years later I started dabbling in the art world, mostly painting. I took several art courses in London and New York, and by 2018, that's when I knew I wanted to be an artist full-time. However, while I was creating these beautiful and colorful paintings, I was going through the most turbulent and the darkest period of my life, which led me to writing. And eventually, long story short, 2 years ago, my first book was published. My book is called Entrégala, bestia, which translates to Give Her to the Beast. It is a memoir. It is a story of survival. It is a story of patience, understanding, forgiveness, and faith. In this book, I basically share my experience after being a victim of energy attacks by a family member, witchcraft or black magic, things that I didn't even believe in, and words that are ultimately really hard for me to say out loud. But everything I write about, I lived it in skin and bone. Honestly, since I was a kid, so many things, bad things happened to me. A lot of accidents, injuries, mishaps, sicknesses, and just plainly bad luck. And eventually, my health took a nosedive for the worst. And then no doctor could ever tell me what it was, no matter how many doctors I visited. And it wasn't until I was 28 that I found out about the ugly truth, as I like to call it. I met many, many people with gifts, extrasensorial gifts, people I like to call light workers. These were people that I met by chance, doctors, healers, that I now know were a godsend. And little by little, these people started helping me in, reaching my health back again. And then little by little, they guided me to finding my way back to myself, because I had lost everything in every possible way, physically, spiritually, mentally, and energetically. At first, I started writing to heal, and then after seeing everything that I had learned and everything that I had mustered, like the wisdom and this unwavering faith, I knew I had to share it all with the audience, with the world. It is a book that goes from dark to light. It is a book that goes from hatred to forgiveness and from losing everything to unwavering faith. So if my story and my book can inspire you in any way, if it can unlock your heart, your strength, your faith, then I have reached my goal. So basically what happened was, Alma Castañeda, who is a producer on several of the Prayer series episodes, contacted me saying that she had heard about my story and she was very keen on doing something with it. She then contacted Young, who is the director and creator of Prayer International Series, and he loved it too. My story carries a lot of struggle, pain, and uncertainty, but at the same time, it carries a lot of resilience and patience and faith. Faith and prayer are the foundation of Prayer International Series, so I think it was a good fit. Now also, they hadn't done an episode in Guadalajara, which is my hometown, so it was their idea to make an episode of my own experience. It was very hard to choose which part of the story to tell in 10 to 12 minutes, because how can you put 30 years of your life in such a short amount of time? So I worked really hard on writing a script that would allow the audience to understand everything that the main character was going through and explain in a simpler way what was the root cause of her many years of suffering without having to tell the whole story. The only experience I ever had with anything regarding filmmaking was back in college when we had to do a short film as a class all together. So my part was really very minimal. With this particular project, I was very much involved since the beginning. With the script, finding filming locations, finding the actors, the extras, schedules and logistics. So it was a lot. But at the end of the day, I was just very excited to be part of this project and get to see everything behind the scenes. I'm just very happy about this project because everything just happened so quickly and organically in a way, and everything just came together very nicely. I am very grateful for everyone who was part of this project, because everyone was very on board, everyone was willing, and you can see it in the acting, you can see it in the end result. Everyone was so incredible. I'm very happy about this episode, and I hope you will like it too. I know this is a very hard, taboo, and twisted topic to touch upon, and I just want you to know that it is not my intention to force you into believing that such things like these exist, but I want you to know how strong and capable we are as human beings, especially during our toughest times. You know, everybody has a mountain, and no matter what your mountain looks like, there is always a way out. But I'll say two things. One, the healing journey takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience, and it is very painful. It hurts, but it is crucial to find enlightenment. You need to face your fears, you need to face your demons, face to face, eye to eye, to be able to see everything more clearly, to understand and accept everything that's happening for you, not to you. And two, there is no healing without faith. Everything is easier if you do it by God's hand, and that is a fact. You know, if I could get out of something that lasted around 30 years of my life, with, 6 years being only, at least 6 years being only the healing journey, you can too. The world is so tainted right now that it just needs a lot of healing, light, and love. And I hope that my book, my story, and Prayer Guadalajara will give you a little bit of that. You can watch Prayer Guadalajara now for free on YouTube. You can find direct links on my website, marcelasolana.com, or in my social accounts, where you can find me as marcelasolana.art. We made this episode with so much love and light just for you, so please leave your comments and let us know what you think about it. Thank you.